Hello and welcome to the Lever Report, a weekly video newsletter for human-centric leaders to navigate the week ahead. I'm Drew Fortin, here with your latest update for the week starting Monday, June 16th, 2025. Geopolitical tensions shake markets. Wall Street's recruiting practices are changing. New data shows a growing CEO-employee confidence gap, and an MIT economist reveals a paradox of AI job exposure. That and more news to start your week. Global markets were shaken Friday as geopolitical tensions flared with an attack by Israel on Iran and subsequent declaration of war. This sent investors fleeing from risk. The Dow Jones Industrial Average plunged nearly 800 points, while the S&P 500 and Nasdaq also saw significant drops. This fear-driven sell-off, however, runs contrary to recent data showing improving sentiment here at home, as the University of Michigan survey showed consumer pessimism easing considerably in early June. Adding to that, the New York Fed reported a substantial dip in one-year inflation expectations, and a new chief executive group survey showed CEO confidence is on the rise, with two-thirds now expecting revenue growth this year. For leaders, this is a classic battle between short-term fear and long-term fundamentals. The market's reaction on Friday was driven by headline risk, but the more telling signals for your business strategy lie in the strengthening confidence of your customers and peers. While geopolitical events create undeniable uncertainty, the rising optimism from consumers and CEOs suggests that there's a foundation for cautious investment and growth. Don't let the volatility of a single day or week derail your strategic plan. Instead, focus on underlying trends that show a steady return to cautious offense. Take a longer-term approach to your business plans and make decisions that determine the long game. Recruitment philosophies are changing on Wall Street, challenging one of its most intense and criticized hiring practices. A new analysis from Business Insider reports that financial giants JP Morgan, Apollo, and General Atlantic are hitting the brakes on a hyper-accelerated recruiting cycle for private equity jobs. This long-standing process pressured junior bankers to accept their next job at a PE firm just months after starting their first one out of college, forcing them onto a rigid career track with no room for detours. Apollo's CEO Mark Rowan stated that obvious truth that asking young people to make huge career decisions before they understand their options creates avoidable turnover and ultimately, quote, serves no one. If this change holds, it could fundamentally reshape how one of the most powerful industries in the world finds its talent. This is a fascinating real-time case study on the consequences of broken talent strategy. While your industry might not be as extreme, this is a moment for every leader to ask where similar, quote, path dependency exists in their own hiring processes, potentially filtering out great candidates who didn't follow a perfect linear path. The core lesson here, it's universal. Hiring for demonstrated skill and future potential will always beat hiring for a curated resume that just checks the right boxes. This move by Wall Street giants isn't just about being fair. It's a strategic decision to mitigate the risks of turnover and groupthink that come from a narrow talent pool. Rethinking when and how you recruit is one of the most powerful ways to access a broader, more innovative group of people who can drive your business forward. Going a little deeper into CEO confidence data we hit in the market segment earlier, business leaders are starting to see a little bit of blue skies ahead, but their employees are still bracing for a storm, creating a dangerous confidence gap that could stall growth. A recent survey from Chief Executive Group showed CEO optimism improved for the third straight month, with more leaders anticipating revenue growth and planning to increase hiring for the rest of the year. In stark contrast, a new report from Glassdoor reveals its employee confidence index hit a record low in May, with mentions of layoffs and employee reviews up 18% year over year. This data paints a clear picture of a major disconnect. While the C-suite is cautiously planning for offense, their workforce is riddled with anxiety and uncertainty. As leaders, your optimism is completely irrelevant if your team is too scared to execute your game plan. This confidence gap is a direct threat to productivity and retention, and it must be your first priority. Before you can win in the market, you must address the fear within your own walls by radically increasing the transparency and frequency of your business communications to create stability. Empower your frontline managers to be the primary messengers, as they are your most trusted conduit to your people. You can only successfully shift to a cautious offense and build momentum once you have closed the gap and align your team's mindset with your own. A new report from Catalyst and the NYU School of Law's Meltzer Center, titled Risks of Retreat, the Enduring Inclusion Imperative, reveals that while many organizations are feeling pressure to pull back on DEI, doing so creates its own significant hazards. Based on a survey of 2,500 U.S. employees and leaders, the report found that retreating from DEI introduces major talent, financial, and legal risks. For example, 76% of employees are more likely to stay with an employer who supports DEI, while 43% would quit if that support disappeared. Most critically, there's a massive perception gap. While the majority of C suite and legal leaders believe they are simply, quote, finessing or rebranding their programs, their employees view these changes as a genuine retreat. This data is a crucial signal for leaders to stop thinking about this as a political issue and to start seeing it as a core talent and business strategy. The perception gap between your leadership team and your employees is a trust gap, and it's a canyon you need to close with clear, authentic communication. Your people and your customers are telling you they value fairness and inclusion, making this a bottom line imperative and not a passing trend. The report shows that leaders are actually more concerned about the legal risks of retreating from DEI than continuing with it, fearing an increase in discrimination claims. Use this moment to lead with conviction and anchor your culture in the enduring principles of equal opportunity, ensuring your strategy is resilient enough to withstand any external noise. In a recent talk for the Stanford Institute for Human-Centered AI, MIT economist David Auteur argues that common fears surrounding work automation are far too simplistic. His research challenges the idea that being exposed to automation automatically means a job is at risk. For example, automation made taxi driving less specialized, leading to a massive 249% increase in employment from 2000 to 2020, but with stagnant wages. In contrast, for proofreaders, automation eliminated simple tasks but added more complex ones, resulting in fewer jobs but higher pay for those who remained. Auteur's analysis of job descriptions from 1977 to 2018 found that automation overwhelmingly removes routine tasks while adding abstract tasks that require creativity and reasoning. The key is whether automation removes a job's core expertise or simply handles supporting tasks, allowing workers to specialize even further. This research provides a critical framework for leaders to think about the future of work, moving us beyond the robots are coming for our jobs panic. The question we should be asking isn't if technology will impact a role, but how we can use it to change the nature of the tasks within that role for the better. The opportunity here is to intentionally design jobs where technology handles the tedious routine work, freeing us up to focus on the high-value abstract thinking that humans excel at. Auteur's, quote, good scenario for AI is that it will lower the barrier to expertise, enabling more of your employees to perform more complex work. This is the ultimate form of leverage, using technology to augment and elevate your talent, not just replace it. And that's your Lever Report. Check the show notes for any articles or research we covered today. And if you're enjoying this content, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Also, ask questions or share your thoughts in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you and engage with you. I hope you have a productive week, and we'll see you on the other side.